Hi, for today's topic, it's sexuality, and a couple factors about sexuality is individual sex, gender identity, and expression, as well as sexual orientation. These factors are influenced by one's own cultural upbringing, and in the Latinx population/community, women are shamed for any sexual conduct that they may participate in, and if they are curious in the subject as well. Sex, sexuality, and sexual orientation is and has been a taboo subject in many homes of Latinos. For young Latinos, it is something to be proud of when their young boys begin to have relationships with the opposite sex. However, when their sexual orientation is the opposite of expected, for instance, instead of a heterosexual relationship, they have a homosexual relationship or identify as queer/gay, then they're judged by their families. This is some instances though. There are certain values of the Latino culture that essentially rejects queer relationships as well as queer identity. And this can be for both the boys and the girls in the Latino community. My comment on labeling young girls and women as whore is very harming to the women emotionally and psychologically. It's harmful in ways that they may commit the same mistake of judging or reject their own daughters or younger sisters that are now having a sexual awakening. It is also psychologically harming to them. So this becomes generational trauma that keeps on going. When Latino parents and their youth lack a strong relationship or don't necessarily talk openly about personal/private parts of life, there's this guidance missing for the youth. When parents don't openly talk to their youth about safe sex, sexual orientation, or gender identity, then their youth will most likely learn about it independently, whether with friends that will share their experience or they will have their own experience. Sometimes outcomes of self-exploring one's sexual identity consequences may come along. For example, if there's no one counseling the youth, Latino youth specifically, there are high risks of contracting STDs and STIs. Another risk is teen/unwanted pregnancies. This is due to the lack of knowledge on contraceptives, because birth control is a subject of matter that is not really touched within Latino families. Lack of knowledge also on self-care on one's own body can also affect the individual by contracting UTIs and having very poor proper hygiene. I really enjoyed this week's topic and reading, and it was a pleasure to take this course.